For our first race of the year, we decided to do a duathlon. This race we've done once before. It's, about an hour and a half or so from our house, so not too far away. This year, however, we did opt to go down the night before and get a hotel room right nearby, so we didn't have to do the super early 3 a.m. wake up and drive down to the race scenario. So we were able to get there, had plenty of time to get in a good stretch and a warm-up run before the race started, which is great. We haven't usually been able to get those in before because we're driving so long to get to the races. So we did that, and it was a lot of fun.
How was the race for you?
Race was good. Went in with pretty much zero expectations. First race of the year. Hadn't done a duathlon in a couple years, so just the whole overall goal was just to get our legs under us. I hadn't actually been on the bike at all outdoors prior to getting on it in the middle of the race, so just wanting to kind of reacclimate to getting outside in that race environment.
How are you feeling during the race?
During the race, I actually felt surprisingly good. I didn't really know what to expect from my legs with either the bike or the run. I'd been on the indoor trainer here all winter long because we had a pretty cold and wet winter. And running wise, I'd gotten a couple runs in outside, but that was really it. So felt surprisingly good at the beginning of the run. So I picked up the pace a little bit. Felt really good on the bike actually. And even the second run, while I was a little tired, still maintained a pace faster than I thought I was going to be able to.
How were you feeling at the beginning of the race before it started?
Definitely a little nervous. I always get nervous at the beginning of races, even if I've done it before, even if I know the course really well. You just kind of never know how the people are going to do, how you're going to perform that day. So had some butterflies.
How was the run?
The run was great, actually. Not as fast as I want to be just yet, but I did better than I thought I was going to. It's the fastest pace I've held, and I was able to build on it throughout, where I got faster as the run went on instead of getting slower. So legs were in better shape for running than I thought I'd be going into the day.
How was the bike in your opinion?
Bike went well. Definitely at the probably first couple hundred yards, a little wobbliness, getting used to actually having to balance myself versus the tri-bike that does it all, or the trainer in here that does it all for me. So that took a couple minutes to get used to again, but once I got used to it, felt pretty good, put down decent power. Still need to work on my bike, trying to make sure I don't miss any bike sessions when I'm training, but overall felt good. It's a relatively flat course, so not really comparable to a lot of other things that we do, but a nice warm-up for the season.
How do you prepare for this?
I spent my winter really doing a lot of strength training, so really focusing on building up the muscles that I need to improve on the bike and make sure I keep a good run in, as well as the swim muscles, and then slowly started building into training blocks, with the training really focusing on the 70.3 distance that we're going to be doing in June. Took maybe a 2-day taper going into this race then, just to make sure I wasn't completely exhausted going into it.
How was the end of the race?
It was good. I was able to sprint the last 100 or so yards, finish right in front of someone, so that's always nice. But there were a lot of fast women there, so I went up in age group this year. So having to deal with a different group of women than who I'd been racing against the last couple years. So it's going to be an interesting season. This next age group up is a lot more competitive than the one that I had been in previously.
How were you feeling after the race?
Felt pretty good. Good enough that actually hubby and I, since we were away for the weekend for this race, went in on a 30-mile bike ride afterwards. So legs felt great. I was a little surprised. still felt pretty good after the 30-mile bike ride later in the day as well. So something I did in the post-season or off-season worked to help really build that strength base. And I'm optimistic going into the season.
Would you recommend this race for others?
Yeah, this is a great race. And this year, the nice thing too is they actually opened up to kids. We didn't know that in advance. As well. But it's a great race. They close the park you're in. So while you do have to count your loops, especially on the bike, there's no cars. So you have a lot of leeway and latitude, and it's relatively flat. So it's also pretty easy for beginners as well.
Anything else you have to say about this race?
No, I mean, we like this race. They actually do the exact same race also in the fall. So we're thinking of adding that to our schedule in the fall to mix it up when we're doing some other half marathons as well.